Let's ask you just very quickly about the SARS. I know it's very early on in this, or the the coronavirus that's out there. What have you seen, if anything?
We're obviously watching it carefully. It's still way too early to talk about. I think the Chinese authorities have got to make sure they understand what's going on, and we'll have to watch and see what we can learn from it.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about your tenure. You took over in 2012. And since that time, you have completely made over Marriott. You've doubled the footprint size. I think you have 1.3 million rooms now. Stock has performed phenomenally, up about 230%, maybe even more than that since you took over. And that really beats your competitors. What their stocks have done beats the S&P 500. I just want to talk about how you've gotten so much bigger, all the different things that you're doing. Why is that? What's your basic philosophy?
Well, you know, one of the conversations here happening at Davos is about the increasing movement of American companies or global companies towards platforms. And how do we take a collection of hotels with a loyalty program and offer more choice, greater loyalty connectivity, and drive more stickiness with our customers. And that's really what it's been about. So there's a piece of that which is about IT investing. There's a piece of that which was about buying Starwood, which brings in that many more brands, that many more locations for us to offer to our customers. And by sort of reinforcing that flywheel, we think we can take more share of wallet and deliver more value to our customers.
It's also about doing things like homes and villas, which is competing with the Airbnbs of the world who are out there. Yeah. Right now, that's still small. How much do you expect to see that growing?
We don't want to be as big as the other players in this space. And I met the Airbnb founders here 7 or 8 years ago, something like that. And it was interesting to listen to them because they were building a model in which the hosts ranked the guests ranked the host, and they weren't blamed for bad experiences. I'm not sure they can pull that off anymore. We would have never been able to pull that off. And so what we've been watching is how do we get into that space in a place that is brandable, in effect, where we can have the reputation of the company stand behind it. And so we've done that at the higher end of the market, not luxury only, but quality. And we've said we want professional third-party home managers to be involved, so we make sure we got great bedding, standby services, if something doesn't go right, that somebody can step in and help, and then connect it to the loyalty program. And we think in that space, it will grow significantly. I think we opened with 2,000 homes. We're now at 6,000. We got 6,000 in the pipeline. These are still tiny numbers compared to the big platforms, but it will grow quickly and I think give our loyalty members another option.
What are your plans from here in terms of additional growth? Are you looking to add more rooms? Are you looking to add additional branches, other businesses that you do to build out this platform? What comes next?
Well, I think in a way we say, how do we strengthen the core hospitality business? And I would put home sharing, all-inclusive, which we launched last year, the core hotel business, all in that traditional hospitality. How do we make our tech as strong as it can be? How do we make the loyalty program as strong as we can be? And then in this adjacent space, we've been in the credit card space with our partners, JP Morgan Chase and Amex, for a long time. Good economics for us and for the loyalty program. But how do we get into third-party restaurants? How do we get into food delivery both into hotels and out from hotel
restaurants? Like you're going to be doing your own Uber Eats?
No. We won't start these businesses ourselves. But how do we work with partners out there that say there's more connectivity for our loyalty program and move to make that loyalty program the most powerful thing?
President Trump was here today, and one of the things he talked about was this trade deal with China. What a great deal that has been, he believes, for the United States, and kind of setting the stage from here. China is your second biggest market. And I just wonder, what kind of impact did you see during these tensions with China? Was it anything more than international tourism to the United States being down, or did it have an impact on what you were able to do in China growth?
China's a big market, and so we see cities like Beijing, which were performing very strong throughout last year. There are other markets, take the South, Shenzhen, not as strong. And again, there are different factors for that. Some of it is about the economic drivers in China for those sub-markets. Part of it is leisure travel and where leisure travel is going. It won't surprise you to know that Hong Kong is a very weak market today. We would guess that top-line performance in Hong Kong will be down 50% in the
more than 7 months of protest.
First quarter of this year compared to a stable first quarter last year. But all things considered, it slowed in China, but it continued to grow year over year. So it wasn't a train wreck. And by the way, our Chinese arrivals to Marriott hotels in the U.S. were up very strong last year.
Why?
Chinese are traveling more. They want to see the United States.
So none of these issues created a problem for you?
They probably made the performance less strong than it would have been, but it was hardly the wheels coming off. I do think the trade deal being done will take a cloud out of the horizon and help build confidence both in China and in U.S. business in China.
You going to keep all your brands? What's your favorite brand?
What's my favorite of 4 children? How about asking me that?
You need to answer. Okay, don't answer that, we're going to keep them all.
The easy thing is we're going to keep them all because we do think by having greater choice within our network, more and more customers will come to us through our network as opposed to some other way.
What's your favorite Ritz-Carlton? You can do that, can't you? It doesn't have to be the hotel. It could be where it is. It could be where Arne Sorenson likes to go.
You guys are great travelers, and I'm sure you agree with this. So much about the travel experience is who you're with and what the purpose of the travel is. I can go with my wife to Paris and stay in any one of our 20 hotels in Paris and have the greatest weekend in the world. And it doesn't really matter the hotel I stay in. If you say, what's the most impressive Ritz-Carlton in the world?
What's the most impressive?
I'd probably take the Ritz-Carlton in Hong Kong. The lobby is on the 98th floor, and the rooms go up from that.
And
There's a rooftop bar on the 120th floor. And you're looking across at Hong Kong Island. It is stunningly beautiful. And a great place to be.
There's an answer. That's it.
That is good. That is good.
It starts on the 98th floor. Okay.
We just want to check in with you about your health. Know you've had issues. You look great. Just how are you feeling? How are things going?
I had surgery in November. They dug around in my midsection for about 7 hours. So it was a sort of a monumental event for me. I'm back, though. I feel great. I've worked throughout. Cancer is a tough battle, and one of the things you learn from this is how big the community is of folks who have experienced part of this, who've survived. I feel good. I'm very optimistic, and I'm just grateful to be here.
Localized, from what they could tell, they removed what was there. Right?
They thought the surgery was successful.
Right.
Yeah. But again, you take this quarter at a time or a month
like
at a time.
Like a person that goes and has those tests and you wait for the results.
Over time. Yeah, that's right.
Well, we are really grateful to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Grateful that your battle is going so well.
Thank you.
We've been following along with it too. Great to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you.